Ladies and gentlemen, and all protocols observed, in a situation like this, it's very challenging to me, because all what has been said, all what was going on has been very, very real. I feel I have lived it. For I'm not too far from, I have not been too far from all what has been going on, except for visits to international meetings, because Leah had to go on those assignments by herself. And of course, with the other professional colleagues, etc. I feel greatly indebted to all those good things which have been said about my dear wife and the role she has played in the university in Point. That is the African Nazarene University. My role today is really not even to speak towards the, I don't know, maybe I should even change my speech to fit the reflections of where did we come from? Where did this African Nazarene University come from? Because we all know African Nazarene University in Ongata Rongai. Yes, it's there, but well, how in the world did it come to be about there? I think to me, it's even more of a Thanksgiving time for me to say thank you to those people who have made it possible for Leah and given us this privilege of participating in one way or another to make it what it is, what we are enjoying, what it is doing, the impact it is coming or bringing to the people of God everywhere on this planet Earth. So, I think, without even following my text, may I say that around 1952-53, that was the first time for me, for example, when I heard about Nazarenes. Many of you here heard about the Church of Nazarene from around 1990s and late 80s, when the first Nazarene missionaries came. Before then, we have had no history. There was the Methodists, there were Presbyterians, but there was nothing like Nazarene Church in Kenya. Well, my first encounter with the Nazarene, not Nazareth, because we knew of Jesus of Nazareth, but of Nazarene, was from a Christian doctrine class by a Methodist preacher who had, in high school, 1952-53, Mr. Lockhart from Ireland, who was teaching us about the Synoptic Gospels. And then we came across a situation where he mentioned Jesus the Nazarene. And then he turned around and said, wow, you know those Nazarenes? They are very narrow-minded people. And I got curious from those narrow-minded people, because I had never heard of anything like that, or even when he was talking about narrow-minded, I did not know what it was. except it was just a class, so we left it at that. For me, I grew up as, quote, staunch Methodist. My brother, who is here, Bishop Matthew, it was, we grew up together, and had all those Wesleyan doctrines and songs, etc., and hymns. Very good, and I'm very proud to have been a Methodist. Anyway, when I started looking for a university to go to America, I wrote mainly to the universities in the north, who were Methodists, which were Methodist universities, North Dakota or Dakota Wesleyan, Iowa Wesleyan, Illinois Wesleyan, and all those Wesleyan universities. But then from the booklet which I had from the American Information Services, I came across this Olivet Nazarene University. I wrote to the president, and he wrote back within a week. Dr. Reed wrote back, and he impressed me. He even offered me a scholarship, $100 scholarship per semester for 2 semesters. So that was it. And he was very impressive, and his foreign student advisor, Dr. Carl, you remember, Carl McLean. Carl McLean, he wrote back, and we worked on coming over there to Olivet. Even when we got over there, because I could remember those narrow-minded Nazarenes, they had a magazine which they called Glimmer Glass, and they had all those literatures which, for example, I see copies of similar documents being sent around, of course, for recruitment. What it is that I approached the Nazarenes with caution because of those words, and narrow-mindedness. The only thing which got me, and I was really deep in my mind, was the rules of Olivet. No smoking, I said amen. No dancing, I'm not a dancer. No movies, I did not even care about movies. So, all the rules and regulations which were there, and there were many strong ones too, seems to fit for me. My interest was only go to America, study, go to medical school, and finish and come back. My pathway to medical school, of course, could not fit without all the support. You know how hard it is to enter a medical school in the United States. I ended up teaching nurses, though, because I ended up being in the microbiology and genetics. So Olivet provided that area of my expertise. Anyway, we got back, we completed our studies there. My wife, Leah, we organized with our Nazarenes to come for studies in America. They were very nice people, extremely nice people, but we had to work. We worked day, we went to school. I went to school during the day, worked at night up to 1 o'clock every morning, but I used to walk 7 miles every day. But when we completed everything, that was normal to me, because no movies, no dances, no anything else other than going to classes, and no smoking, no drinking. Things really seemed to fit, and I enjoyed it. And it was, I've never regretted for having done that. I don't want to bore you with our personal situations, because we are talking about a university here which really needed to be started. Now, I want to thank God first I want to thank God for Leah. You may not know, but what it is that the first meeting for organizing a university, African Nazarene University, but it was then a Bible college, was done in our backyard at Kenya, at KU. Backyard at KU, in one of those verandas, because we couldn't fit, the room was, that's what could fit the people, the group of people who are there. And before we even go to there, we should thank God for the Central Church of Nazarene and Brother Herman Schmelzenbach, because it was him who actually, when the church agreed to send missionaries to Kenya, of whom we think we have had a small part in putting the word, please come to Kenya, like the man of Macedonia, come to Kenya. Then they agreed to send somebody. First, there was one preacher who was coming from Southern Africa, communicating with me through Swaziland, because South Africa was a no-go zone, no communication because of their policies. Then we had to have this, someone goes to Swaziland, sends a mail to Kenya, I get the mail and we reply through that way, and then when he came like Joshua or whoever was sent to explore, before they came, he went back, and then came Herman. Herman then found, when he came, they bought the property on Gong Road, Governor's Mansion, and that Governor's Mansion, buying is easy. You want to buy something? Yes, you buy the building, you buy the land, etc. It was good. Go to get the change of use that you want to create a church. We ran into real roadblock. Herman had problems. And it was refused. It was turned down, and we found that when I went to the City Hall with Herman, and the letter which came, because of the letter which came, it was saying that, hey, your application is turned down. Why? Your application was turned down. We continued asking for it. We were told that it is a security risk. Yes, it was a security risk. Why? There is the Baptist church near the city mortuary. There is a Catholic church. There is another AIC church all around us. But now ours has turned out to be a security risk. What do we do next? We found out that somebody wanted now to, after Herman had bought the land, somebody wanted to take the land or to throw us out. Herman said, over my dead body. And then what we do still? So somewhere, once upon a time, we had some relatives or some distant friends, and their son was working in the office of the president, Mr. Kadurima. Ambassador Kadurima was sitting somewhere here. We didn't have the phones to call. I had to go to look for him from KU. I went to look for him. We met, in fact, coincidentally, outside Harambee House, or I don't remember whether it was Harambee House or Jogo House or something near there. Then I told him, hey, we have a challenge here. We applied for the change of user so that now we can register a church. And what happened? He said, bring the letter, let's see what it's there. Is indicated in there. And this letter was written and signed by somebody with a very long signature. The longest, in fact, the longest bold signature for those who have received from him, because he eventually, when God's hand came into the picture, the guy was thrown out, was among the sweeping, which swept all those corrupt people when they moved out. He was swept out, and we eventually got our approval. So the church, Central Church, was able to move on simply because Mr. Kadurima intervened on our behalf. Ambassador Kadurima intervened, and he told me, I sit on the security meetings, national security meetings, and there was never anything like it. And he sorted that out. I didn't even get to see him. I never told him thank you. So, thank you very much. It is very much African. If you do something, somebody over here, and they miss to say thank you, just forgive them. For they will miss many times. Okay, we sorted that out. That one proved to be the place for it. Proved the Central Church was then the central place where the university meetings were to be held. That, in fact, everything, that was our secretariat. Things were hard, including something like we were even denied a post office box. We couldn't be registered without a post box. Couldn't imagine. Telephone, no problem, but we eventually got a telephone. There were people there who would help us with the telephone. Then, the post box, we got the post box. Okay, now we can make the application. Then Hammond bought the land, the one in Nongatarongai. We had an opportunity to buy land also next to the UN, but I'm glad that one did not work. We ended up with Ongatarongai, where Hammond went and got much, much larger piece of property where university is located. And to get even the road there, the people of work and witness teams who have come there, they knew. You heard about those shoes going, people wearing shoes and things of that sort. Whoa. It was very challenging. And walking there, many people left their vehicles, either in Masai Lodge Road or far distant places. It was very hard. For the road, when we bought it, when the board allowed us, Dr. Kimboi, Mr. Muthuri were there, we negotiated, we got a road so that we can make it. And yes, to make even that road, we were fortunate to have the help of Engineer Moria. I don't know whether he came or whether he did not come. Engineer Moria, he had a meeting. He is the one who was leasing us the equipment to help in making the road. Electricity itself was another challenge. To get the power over there at ANU on the things which we are enjoying today, we thank God for Engineer Jaga of Kenya Power and Lighting Company, although we did not manage to get him, and also Mr. Wambutura, who was there. They were the people, he may be here, and I want to express our appreciation to them. So from there, we got into the construction of the buildings. We had people who were very helpful in the building industry. We were fortunate to have contacts, communication with the people like Mr. Isaac Mugambi, who was an expert, always an expert in that area, and he helped us. Mr. Mugambi is with us here. And he was there for us. He was there for us when we were doing the consultation on the building of Crawford Women's Dormitory. That was with a lot of help from him, including the architect and also a consultant whom we were not paying. Now, when we ran into any challenges, of course, we could go to Ambassador Modaura. He was nearby, and we have gone to Ambassador Modaura's office, whether it is something concerning the missionaries or the church. Even Don Gardner, who is here, we have gone to see Ambassador Modaura many times in Harambee House. And because this is a Thanksgiving side for the people whom you are appreciating. You appreciated Professor Leah Marangu. I feel I'm a part of her in this regard, but also I want to appreciate you guys for what you have done and all those people who have been wonderful in extending their assistance to this, to the growth of the university. I have mentioned already Jason Kimboi, the late Jason Kimboi, Dr. Kimboi, who was also very helpful in matters of finance and also when it came to the purchase of land. When it came to the security system and also, other matters concerning security, we were already very well covered in that area because I could go to my brother-in-law, Mr. Erastus Mbijewe, who is with us also here, and he he did not only provide us with a consultancy on security matters and also the personnel, and also even the driver, whom Leah has kept up to now. Thank you, Brother Erastus. And oh my goodness, when it came to the curriculum development of the university, I was very privileged and honored to be the chairman of the working committee, and I had an excellent team, a team which really helped shape the things which were carried on by the others, and I was privileged to have the people, including the following please, whom you may not even know or have ever heard that they participated. That is Professor Kaberia, that is Ambassador Kaberia. He was also part of the team. And Professor Mugenda, she was also there in that particular team. Professor Idangata, Linda, that she was also part of it. Professor Ndamburi, he was also included, and Dr. Esostin, of course, and a man by the name of Dr. Mutunga, and another one, Professor Mwabu, and I don't want to miss somebody in here, and if I have missed your name, please forgive me, for there were so many people who were part of that. Then, of course, the international group, which included Dr. Zana, Dr. Mark Moore, Dr. Esostin, Dr. Al Jones, and as well as Dr. Kell and others. Among these, of course, I'm not mentioning even our chancellor, who was included in the later on. We are grateful to you folks for helping make this university what it is. And of course, I can say that Leah was placed in this position, a unique position, by only God's provision could have created an environment where she participated in all those. For when it comes to even the registration, by the way, I missed to mention that even for the registration of the church, she was in a committee with with the Solicitor General, who gave her the forms to fill, to apply for the registration of the church. But by the time she took the form, Harmon had fortunately succeeded in getting that. So we thank God for the role in which she was in. Many a time, if you see her missing, for example, in the roll call for the people who are working on the curriculum, was that she couldn't appear in that one, but she was in the background of what was going on, because she couldn't show up as a commissioner and also as a participant in the writing of the programs. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think I owe it to you to say that we are grateful for all that you have done to making the tenure of Leah possible. The trustees and the council, of which we have been there, by all those people who have been, our trustees and the council have been there without, and I'm proud to say, without ever anyone getting a sitting allowance. That one is foreign to us. They pay their ways, they come, they work, and they finish, and they go. And in fact, it was so interesting because one time, when somebody from Kenya Revenue Services found that there was no, what about these allowances, where are they? I said, we don't have sitting allowances. And they had to write to the officials of the church to find that we have never received any sitting allowance on this for being there. It is a voluntary situation, and we thank God we can do it willingly. So, for all that has happened, we thank God for giving us the health, and I know now, what you call it? What's the date? Is it that the 30th October, 31st? With 59 seconds, whatever. Our household will be free. I hope now. I hope our household will be free of that red iPad which has been worn out, because honestly, it rings any time of the night, and it is responded to. So, I don't want to say free at last. I didn't want to say that, but there will be freedom. There will be freedom. There will be freedom with that. And thank you very, very much.